So the question I was going to ask everybody is this, right? So if you had to pick one of the three things, and I want everybody to give me an answer. If you had to pick one of the three topics that we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be talking about business analysis, we're going to be talking about agile transformation with Scrum, and even project management. So I want everybody to come into the chat room and tell me if you had to pick just one, like you're constrained, you can only pick one of these areas to become some kind of global expert. Which of them are you going to pick? If you were in a position whereby you had to pick just one of those three areas, which of them would you pick as your specialization? You can only pick one, right? Everybody. So please come into the chat room and share your thoughts. And it's only for you to pick one. Then I also want to hear why. Why? So everybody, I want to hear from you. If you can only pick one of these areas as your specialization, right? Then you can only pick one as your specialization. Which one will it be? And why will you be picking that particular one? So I want to hear from everybody. I need to hear this from everybody. So I'll probably even put this in the yeah. So if you had to pick just one of these three areas of specialization, what will it be? If you could only pick one of these three areas of specialization, what exactly will it be and why? Okay, so I want to hear from everybody. If you can only pick one of these three specializations, right? Only one. That means you can either be, I don't want somebody to tell me this particular question. I don't want somebody to tell me that, oh, I want all. No, I just say you have to pick just one. Why, which one will it be? And why exactly would you be picking that one? Okay, so Steven says he'll he'll pick business analysis. Okay, because they solve real business problems. But I mean, the others also solve problems. Even I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say that the others don't solve problems. All of them solve problems, one way or the other. They all solve problems, one way or the other. They all solve problems. Okay, Alberto also says that it's a business analysis, right? Okay, let's see. Let's hear from others, and then we'll tabulate which group. Favor says such a difficult decision. Aha, so we have one for agile now. We have one for agile. Ah, Temi says project management. Okay, so we have one for project management. Now, Coyote says business analysis. Edith says that she'll pick agile transformation. Okay. Oluwatosi, business analysis. Victor says business analysis. Yeah, the major says what? Agile transformation with Scrum. Okay. Still says okay. Uh, Zoe says but still staying with the business analysis. Okay. Bodu says agile trans. Gwenga says Gwenga says agile. Uh, Akimen says agile with Scrum. Okay. Isaac says what? I'll pick business analysis. Right. Right. Okay. Isaac says business analysis. Okay. No, so Isaac, be mindful. I did not say business analytics. I said business analysis. There is a difference between business analysis and business analytics. So be mindful of that, right? So those are two different things entirely. They're definitely interrelated, but one of them, when every time you use the word analytics, that means it's primarily data driven, and business analysis is bigger, is broader, is wider than just the data side or data element of it. Okay, so please be mindful of that. So I said business analysis, not analytics. Are we good? Right. So who else? Who else? I want people to tell me. For the people who are just coming in, I want people to tell me which is your which one is going to be your preference, right? Which, which, which is going to be you, your preference amongst the three. So if we say, can you hear me mute that person, please? Okay. So it was so which one? Okay, so let's say in Canada, after all, Nigerians were our second now so wait, so let me first ask this one, right? Okay, Adi says business analysis. Okay, good. So the if people want to jackpot from Nigeria, people want to leave Nigeria and Ghana today. Which location are most people going to in the year 2026? People that are looking to either relocate from Nigeria or Ghana, are they going more to the UK or Canada? Which one? Anybody? In the year 2026, people from Nigeria and Ghana who are relocating for one thing or the other in 2026, where are people going to more, or where will people go to more? Is it UK or Canada? Okay, Tony says UK. Isaiah says UK. Okay, let me hear from others. Alberto, you need to stop, please. I beg. Let me concentrate on what I'm doing. Just Greenland. Are they going to meet Trump or what are they going? Tell me says Canada. Manurat says Canada. Coyote says UK. Alberto says Canada. Um, Judith says project management here. So what we can do in this instance, so let me see, let's do something. So everybody, let's all first go to, so if we go to a website like Indeed.ca, right? If we go to a website like that, let me do this. If we go to a website, and so everybody, you should do that, right? So can you see my screen, everybody? Can you see my screen? So if we go to a place like this, so let's see, which one should we start from? Should we start with business analyst, right? So let's say we, just for the purposes of this meeting, we say find jobs. Okay. Okay. So that means, look at it, right? That means there's a demand. So we're starting with this Canadian one, right? That means there's a demand. There's a demand for business analysts. So everybody, so look at it. There is a demand for business analysts of various types with different types of background and things like that. So there is a demand for that. If we go to project manager, if we go to project manager and we say find jobs, that means there's also a demand. There's also a demand for project managers. Can you see? So look at this one, say between 80 to 130K. Wow. Yeah. So different types of jobs, different types of roles. So there's a demand. There's always a demand for project managers globally. And then if we now say Agile, let's just leave it as, yeah, okay. Let's just leave it as Agile. Let me not define it as, okay, so let me say Scrum Master, something along those lines. So you can see here, right? I mean, there's still a demand, everybody. There's still a demand. So people are still looking for Scrum Masters and people who understand Agile Project Manager, Senior Business Project Manager, Agile, like that, like that. So there is a demand. There is a massive demand. So you can see that if you look at a place like Canada, all these things, they matter, and there's a demand everywhere. There's a demand for each of them. If we go to, I used to go to, what's the name of that website in the UK where a lot of people go for, why am I forgetting? Um, um, let me see. Why am I forgetting? Sorry? Sorry? Uh, I'm trying. Why am I forgetting this website? Let me see. I don't want to go to Monster. Aha, now I remembered. Yeah. So let me say I want to do job serve. Okay. Let me do the code. Let me do the UK site. So okay, so everybody, if I go to the bottom, okay, so this is the UK one, right? So if I start with, what should I start with? Business analyst, right? So let me pick contract roles. Okay, everybody. So I know some of you, in favor of Mr. Ogundele, or some of you, you earn way more than this. Everybody, look at it, right? I know some of you. This is small money for some people here. Am I right? Isaac, this is small money. Okay. A business analyst, and they're willing to pay the person 600 pounds per day. So even if they take some of your money in taxes, maybe 30% or something, or 40 self, you're still very good even after that. Right. So this is a role. So the role, you will do this, you will do that, because it's good that you take these things into keen um consideration, so that as you're doing this, you have the right things at the back of your mind. So um let's look at the skills and experience, everybody. So how many people think that they can get this job today if they were living in the UK, that if they apply, they will take them? How many people believe that if they were living in the UK today like this, and they apply for this job, that that they will take them? Okay, somebody's not seeing my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Please let me know. I can stop sharing for a minute, and then let me share again. Uh, okay, good. So everybody, so there is a demand. Look at it, everybody. There is a demand. Look at business analysts. Business analysts. One of the things you will learn is that as a business analyst, you should have some kind of specialization. You should have some kind of specialization as a business analyst. So it's almost like you kind of need to narrow your business analysis skills into a particular area. And you can see that as a business analyst, everybody expects that you will know something about Scrum and Agile, right? So this is just one. If I pick, look at this one, everybody. This one, your prayers have been answered. Everybody see the money. Hmm? Wow. £800 every day. Hey, right? £800. All right. So look at what you'll be doing and then look at the requirements. Wow. So who can meet this as at today? This is beautiful. Everybody see. Well, this, right? So you can see that this is in like what, in asset management, in this you must be doing this for a company that is probably into the capital market or into asset management or into something along those lines, right? So Mr. Muiwa, you're awake. Right. So you can see that there's a demand for these things, right? So the only thing is that in your business analysis, you cannot be a generalist. Are we all together? You cannot be a generalist. You're expected to be some kind of specialist. So look at this now, for example. This business analyst is specifically around ERPs. So who has decent experience around SAP, Odoo, Sage? I used to do Microsoft Dynamics a while ago. I spent a lot of my years just doing Microsoft Dynamics ERP. I used to do something called GP. I used to do something called NAV and AX. So
Good
I used to,
afternoon, Mr. Orlando. I'm sorry
yes,
I
please.
have been late.
No, no problem. No problem at all. Right? We're just starting, so no issues. No problem, Mustafa. Right? So you can see that this one, let's look at the job function. You can see it's very it's tied to an ERP, right? So who are those who have decent ERP experience here? You have implemented financial management, HR, supply chain, those types of things. Who are those? Please, right? I mean, let us learn from you. So, who are those who have decent experience along those lines? No, no, I'm not encouraging anybody to relocate. I'm just thought, right? So, I'm not encouraging anybody to relocate. I'm just stating some things here. Okay. So you can see that there is a global demand, everybody. There's a global demand for business analysts. It's not going to go away. Okay. So I'm certain that on some of the Nigerian websites, I am not very familiar with some of the Nigerian or Ghanaian websites. So somebody else will also check if you're looking for a business analyst role in Nigeria or in Ghana, or what website should you check? What is the best website to check in Nigeria or in Ghana when it comes to looking for a business analyst job, right? So that's fine. Now, let me move away from here. Let me come back and let me change this to, let me say, a Scrum Master. Okay, so if we do Scrum Master contract, let us see. I hope people can still see my screen. This is in the UK. So everybody, so look at this now. This is the Scrum Master. Okay, you're looking for, all right. So you're looking for a Scrum Master. Who can apply for this job that you think they'll take you? This one is even for an AI program. Hey, no be small thing, no. Hmm. A Scrum Master on an AI program. Ah, that one. Yeah, that's serious. A Scrum Master on an AI program. So who can fit into this job? This one no be small work. Oh. This one is not a small job at all. Okay. So once again, if you really know these things, you will, I mean, the jobs are out there. You can't really come to me and tell me that there is no job. There is no, people come out with, oh, there's no job. I said, there's a job. There are jobs every day, everywhere. The challenge is that people are interested more in the qualifications than even in the jobs themselves. There's always a job. How can you say there is no job? There is job. There is work everywhere, every day. Look at this. So, product owner, right? I mean, there's always, people are always hiring, right? The challenge is that a lot of people don't have those skills, the actual skills to do these things. They might have the qualifications, they might even have the head knowledge around it, but you can't really say that there are no jobs. There's always a problem of actual skills and capabilities. That means it's beyond just what's that called thing called? It's beyond just having the qualification or knowing the terminologies. Okay. And then so lastly, if I put project, if I just put project manager here, right? If I put project manager here, you will see, right? So let's see. Why is it not responding? Brilliant. Why is my computer, my screen? Okay. So project manager. Why is it not responding? Respond. Okay. The cookie. Ah, okay. Okay. I don't know why my computer, this page isn't responding, but yeah, if you check it on your side, you will see. So once again, in any of those areas that you have decided to go with, right? Whether you go with Scrum or as your specialization, or you go with project management as your specialization, or you go with business analysis as your specialization, there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity everywhere. But just like some people said earlier, I think all of us need to start with business analysis. That is definitely my idea. Those are my thoughts. I think everybody should focus on being on acquiring business analysis skills. So let me say it properly. I think all of us should um, acquire business analysis skills. Now, that is different. So, everybody, that is different from being a specialist business analyst, right? My thought and my opinion is that all of us, right, should have business analysis skills. And I mean all of us, with the exception of nobody. In fact, the advice I give to anybody HR in the room, anybody that is HR in the room, the advice I give to HR people is that as part of your induction in an organization, and I hope you're with me, as part of your induction in an organization or in every organization, let me say it properly, in every organization, as part of your induction, right? I think every organization should include business analysis training for every employee. I think every organization should include business analysis training as part of their induction for every employee. That's my opinion. I think everybody, with the exception of none, um, should do that. Okay. I think every organization should specifically um, include business analysis as part of their induction. So I put this up on LinkedIn some days ago. I'm going to also share it here. And then I want to get the thoughts and the opinion of everybody. Okay. So let me put it here in the chat room, everybody. Let me put it here in the chat room. Okay, good, good, good. All right. So I will share my screen. So everybody, give me your thoughts. Give me your opinion. I need you to, this is not a radio type situation where I will do all the speaking. So everybody, tell me about, give me your thoughts here. Go ahead. Everybody. I think everybody. And I think HR professionals really need to be mindful of this. HR professionals really should be mindful of this. And business leaders too, departmental leads, team leads, all of us need to be mindful of this because we all need, with the exception of none, and it doesn't matter in what unit you're in the organization. In fact, the way it should be is that there is nobody that should even be a unit or departmental head that should not have validated business analysis skills. Right? There is nobody that should be a unit or departmental head that should not have very strong business analysis skills. Everybody should have very strong and, should I say, validated business analysis skills. Okay? That's very important. So all of us should go away having this clearly at the back of our minds. You need to have, you as a person, you, your team members, everybody in your organization should have very strong business analysis skills. Okay? Once again, this is important for for everybody that is here. And these capabilities, they cut across every discipline. So I agree with the people when we started, they said business, it's the foundation. And if you go and check yourself as a professional, it's probably what's one thing or the other that you're lacking from a business analysis perspective that is, should I say, stopping you from even becoming a much better professional. And I've seen managing directors. I mean, every year we will end up as an organization working with, God knows, maybe 150 to 200 customers in different places in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, in different locations around the world. So I meet with professionals every day. I meet with heads of departments, heads of unit. I meet with people from everywhere and every place every day. The key thing that I've seen that is missing is that a lot of those people are struggling from a business analysis perspective. The core skill sets that you get from being from business analysis, a lot of people don't have it, but they've grown, they're senior, they've become very advanced in one area or the other, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those core skills that they have them. And I think these skills are compulsory. They're not nice to have. They're not something that you say, oh, I have, I don't have. These are things that you must have. In fact, I mean, there's something called the underlying competencies, and I'll show you some of that to this morning. So once again, this is important. You need to take this away with you. I have people in my own organization. We're more than 100 people in the organization doing different things in different parts of the world, and I can tell you the thing that makes a difference between one person versus another. I have all sorts of people that work with me. The key thing that makes a difference is also their core business analysis skills, their core business analysis skills. So, once again, please take note of this and share your thoughts with me in the chat room. Let me hear from you. What do you think, right? Why is it that something that is this important, people have also reduced it to just an exam? You know, people have reduced business analysis skills, which is a big deal. People have reduced it to just an exam. So it's almost like, as far as a lot of people are concerned, once you have passed an exam, right? once you passed an exam, it kind of means that you're a business analyst, right? And exams are good. Exams are very useful. Exams are important. But exam is not the same thing as a skill set. If there is a particular exam that I have not passed as at today in my life, right? That it doesn't mean that the people who have passed that exam are going to be able to demonstrate better uh, understanding of many subject areas better than I have. It doesn't necessarily translate. The other thing people always ask me is, oh, how come you understand this or you understand that, whatever that thing is? And I'm always smiling because the background for me is that strong business analysis skills background. And because of my strong business analysis skills, I'm able to figure out many other things. I'm able to know many other things. I'm able to even do many other things. So let me hear from some other people. What are your thoughts? Why do you think something that is this important, organizations are missing it? Why do you think leaders, managers, HR, that they are all missing something that is this important? Tell me, share your thoughts with me in the chat room. I just want to hear what you have to say quickly before I will show you a couple of other things, and then I can rest this maybe business analysis conversation and then move on to something else. Okay, quickly go ahead. All right, so who's here? Uh, yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe people don't even know that there is a body of knowledge or there's something that is really tied to business analysis. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, you're right, Alberto. Favor, yes. Yeah. Why is it that HR people are missing something that is this important? Why? Why? And maybe we should have a lot of HR people here. Maybe we should ensure, all right, that there are more. Maybe we should do something specifically for HR people. Okay. Maybe we should do that, right? Maybe we should do something specifically for HR people. Why HR people themselves really need to understand this, right? So, and I said something in one of those slides that I put up. I said the problem with most project managers that I have seen is that most project managers are poor business analysts, or they don't have strong business analysis skills. Most project managers, and I can tell you, if you're going to be like a Scrum master or a project manager, or for people who understand something called enterprise architecture, those kinds of things, there is an assumption. Are we all together? There is an assumption. And the assumption is that you have excellent business analysis skills and capabilities. There's an assumption. There is an assumption. If you're doing so, put it in the chat room, right? So there is an assumption. If you're going to be a great project manager, if you're going to be a great enterprise architect, a great scrum master or product owner, yes, including all those uh, all those agile roles like I'm going to be a product owner. Okay, the difference is that do you how good is your business analysis skill set? Okay. Okay. So Victor, I've seen what you said. Stadimeji, good. So for example, right? Let me share my screen again. Hold on. So for example, where is that? Okay, so here. Good. So everybody, And I have it in a different slide, but let me just show it here first, right? So for example, there's this portion called underlying competences, everybody. There's this portion called underlying competences. Okay. How many people who work in training nights, we spent an entire year just looking at these things? I don't like the way it is here. Give me 1 second. Let me look for, I have it in, I have it in 2 million places, but I'm looking for a particular one. Let me see. So I have it in like 2 million places. All right. I'm looking for the other way in which I decided to read. I hope I find it. Oh no. Aha, found it. Brilliant. Good, good, good. Right. So if you look at this, give me 1 second. Found it. Okay, brilliant. So everybody, if you look at this, right? So oh yeah, so the in Babok, for example, right? In Babok, they've got these things called underlying competences, and there are 29 components within the underlying competences, right? So they're like sub competences, so to speak, right? So the competences are six. I hope everybody can see this, right? The competencies, there's six of them. Okay, one, two, three, four, five, and then six. And then there are the 29 sub competences. Okay, imagine if HR or managers or senior leaders in an organization make it compulsory that as part of induction, as part of some annual program, as part of something, okay, as part of induction, as part of something, they ensure that people have these skills, not only teach them, but that the people actually acquire these skills and capabilities. Look at it carefully on under each of the competences, see all the things that are there. Look at competence number one and look at the difference between you put three types of thinking there. Systems thinking, different from conceptual thinking, different from visual thinking. Of course, you and I will think that all those things are the same, but they are not the same. Okay? Look at the concept of problem solving. Sorry, under number one, look at creative thinking. So I take that back. The four of them, right? I knew that there was something wrong. So creative thinking, systems thinking, conceptual thinking, visual thinking. If you ask the normal person what the difference between these four areas are, they're going to struggle to articulate it. And at work, each of these things mean different things and are useful for all of us. The different types of thinking around this. Look at behavioral characteristics that everybody in an organization should have. Because there's not one of these things that you can say that somebody, that it's a nice to have, that nobody needs to have this particular thing. There's not one of them. All of them are important. I used to going to say that there is an individual in your organization, even the security guard, even the person who cleans the organization should have adaptability and trustworthiness and personal accountability and should be ethical. If you come to business knowledge, everybody should have this. It doesn't matter their role in the organization. All of them should have decent knowledge about the industry in which you operate. They should have smart business acumen, organizational knowledge, the knowledge of how to come up with solutions to certain problems, and even knowledge of methodologies. I have something that I'm going to be doing for an organization, a retreat I'm going to be doing for an organization next week, Saturday. And I have articulated what it is that I'm going to be doing for them in some kind of methodology specifically for them. Look at look at number 4 where you talk about communication skills. You know, your ability to speak appropriately, to articulate yourself properly, your ability to be able to write properly, your ability to be able to use body language appropriately, and your ability to be able to listen. Now, just this thinking around the breakdown of communication skills, a lot of people don't even know what exactly this is. So, this is a big deal. This really is a big deal for you to actually ensure that you own these competences. And once again, it doesn't matter whether you're in marketing, whether you're in sales, whether you're in procurement, whether you're in finance, it doesn't matter. Everybody in an organization needs to be an emblem and a representation of these competences. If you look at the interaction skills, are you going to say, I mean, one of the things I like about this is that they've differentiated facilitation from teaching, because right now I'm not facilitating, I'm actually teaching. Because there is a percentage when it comes to how much the person speaks versus the audience. If I'm facilitating, I probably will speak about 30%. The people will probably do the remaining 70. But if I'm teaching, I'm going to do 70%, and then the people will do the remaining 30. Then there is, of course, are you going to say that there are people in the organization who don't need leadership and influencing skills or teamwork skills, or the ability to be able to negotiate and resolve conflicts? And then lastly, look at the 6th one. Are you going to say that there are people in the organization that should not know how to use Microsoft Teams, how to use Zoom, how to use Microsoft Office, how to use Slack, how to use Trello, how to use Excel, PowerPoint? It's there. Now, this is inside of the Babok documentation. It calls them the 6 underlying competencies, but I have counted and I've now written it in my own version that it's not just the 6 competencies, it's also these 29 sub competencies that are tied to them. Now, think about this objectively. You, as a person that you're listening here, let's not talk about other people, let's talk about you as a person. How many of these skill sets do you really think that you have, or do you know that you have? So everybody, assuming this is over 100, and I'm not talking about just mentally knowing these things or just knowing it from a knowledge perspective. I'm talking about things that other people can attest to the fact that you demonstrate these competencies in your life, work life, home life, whatever that life is. Give yourself a score, everybody. Everybody. And I'll do one or two more things and I'll leave business analysis. And of course, I mean, as I said, this is, I mean, as people as I've also said here, this is foundational. This is foundational. So everybody, go to the chat room. Tell me, what will be your score objectively in the eyes of others, and all right, in the eyes of your colleagues, in the eyes of your bosses, in the eyes of your subordinates? What do you think you're going to score on this page? Are you struggling with PowerPoint or with Excel or how to use Copilot? Are you struggling when it comes to decision making that you cannot justify the decisions? I was with somebody some weeks ago, and the person was like, I was saying that I know what you're speaking to an audience and you're saying that I know what I'm saying, I know what I'm saying, and I started laughing. You know, when somebody starts to say that, it means that they are lost for words to be able to articulate themselves further to the audience. The person kept on saying, I know exactly what I'm saying. I say, yes, you know what you're saying, but we that were listening to you, we don't know what it is that you're saying. And if you're going to communicate appropriately, it's with us, with us, then you really need to ensure that you're not the only person that will know what you're saying. We that were listening to you will also know what exactly it is that you're saying. So everybody, Let's do that. Tell me, what is your score? What is your score, everybody? What's your score objectively in the what will others say and attest to, right? Of course, you know what they call the risk of self-assessment, right? So, well, yeah, generally you get the point. So give me your score over 100, 60%, 70%, 80%. Because we're not saying that, oh, do you know these things mentally? I'm asking that. Will others also attest to it? Everybody, give me your score, right? Good. I like that. So some people are very optimistic, and some people are not. Some people are very optimistic, and some people are very maybe pessimistic. But you all get the point, right? You all get the point. And I'm telling you that this is the thing that was going to help you. This is what is going to help you with your work, with your life, with the things that you are doing. This is really what is going to help you with your work, with your life, and with whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Right? It's important. It's important that you get that right. Okay. Right. So once again, everybody needs to understand. You need deep understanding of business analysis skills. You need deep understanding. You need really deep understanding. All right. I I was this is just meant to be me having some high level discussions. If I try to take a training like this, it's going to take the entire day, so to speak. But this is me having some high level discussions, and it's great that we do this. So, and thank you very much for taking the time out on a Saturday like this to be here. Okay, Namdi, how did you arrive at this? Your fraction 28.2. Namdi, you're not serious. Did you, which kind of Excel document and calculator and formula did you use that you ended up with the point, the fact 28.2? Namdi, you're not serious. Right. Let me let me share one more two. Right. I just said I can stay on business on that analysis all day. So everybody, let's look at this, right? Something has gone significantly wrong here. Everybody, if you look at number 1 and number 10, look at the images for number 1 and number 10. Something has gone wrong because around number 1 it says this is how the customer explained it. Everybody, that's what it says in number 1. It says this is how the customer explained it. I don't want to take you through number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But look at number 10. It says this is what the customer really needed. How the customer explained it. Okay. And what the customer really needed. Let me get people in the chat room to articulate what went wrong here. Tell me. Tell me what went wrong here. What is the thing? Can somebody articulate it for me in the chat room? And I like to use the chat room because it also tests whether you're able to write appropriately, right? And somebody a very not very lengthy, and I don't want you to go and use AI. Tell me from your perspective, right? What do you think went wrong here? How the customer explained it and what the customer really needed. Once again, if a project has gone wrong, foundationally, it's the business analysis skills of certain people. If a project has gone wrong, if a project has gone wrong, foundationally, it's the business analysis skills of the project managers, of the team, of the team, and even maybe of the executives is one of the reasons why the project would have gone wrong. At the very foundational or fundamental level, it's because the specific business analysis skills of the project manager, of the team, of the executives, of the managers, of different stakeholders, the business analysis capabilities has gone wrong. And I'll show that to you once again, apart from those 29 subcomponents. So who's going to try? Let me go into the chat room. Who's going to try? What has gone wrong? What the customer, how the customer explained it, and what the customer really needed. Who's going to try in the chat room? Let's see. Okay, so people have said requirement misunderstanding, communication skill, briefing not well understood. Nah, there's something I'm looking for: miscommunication and misunderstanding, communication gap, communication issues, poor elicitation from the BA. Isaac, well, feedback loop is not really good. Well, Rick, there's a problem with the requirement gap leading to a misunderstanding, right? Understanding and comprehension. Okay, good. Let me hear from some others. What do you think went wrong? Okay, right? Who else? And I mean, I've seen this pretty much all through my career. Right? I mean, and my career is not very long. It's just about 24 years there, about or 25. I know there are people here who have way longer careers than I do. So, um, okay, but I can tell you something, right? Everybody, the first, right, analytical skills. Okay, good. I can tell you this. I mean, and this is one of the things I say. This is not the word of God, everybody. All right, so it's not the word of God. It's not something that will say that cannot be changed. But look at number one, everybody. And I'll tell you, this is the reason. I told you that at the end of the day, all project. Let me write it here. Just let me write it here. All all project stakeholders need BA skills. Okay, all project stakeholders, they all need BA skills. And once one project stakeholder, whether it's a customer or whoever that person is, does not have BA skills, then there's going to be a problem. Look at this, right? Everybody, take a minute and have a look at this. Take a minute, have a look at this. Okay. Okay, because number one is the reason why a lot of projects go bad. Because the clients themselves, the owner of that problem, the person that we're trying to deliver value to, that person, that user, that process owner, he or she needs excellent business analysis skills. And once that person, because the where the whole thing went wrong was that, of course, at the very beginning, the customer himself was not able to articulate his own needs and expectations correctly. That is the root cause of the whole thing. The person, the root cause, there's something called root cause, right? The person, the endpoint person himself or herself, right, is struggling with excellent business analysis skills. And then, of course, further to that is that a BA should have come in at the very beginning. Instead, it was like a project manager that came in. A BA should come in even before the project manager, or we should the kind of project manager that should have come in immediately after the things started going wrong should have been the kind of project manager who's got excellent business analysis skills. This is where it all went wrong at the very beginning. At the very beginning is where everything went wrong. And it just went down like that. Share your thoughts with me. As I said, this is not the word of God. Maybe I'm wrong. You won't find this in any textbook. I actually wrote this out in a training session that we're having. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But this is my, just like somebody give, was it Timmy or somebody that said, this is my humble score. So this is my own humble opinion with regards to the swing tree. Okay. Are we good? All right. So anyways, that's that. Let me show one more thing and then we can get out of, I can stop this portion because we can do this all day. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Hold on. People like to focus on the, should I say, um, the 6 phases of the knowledge areas. But for me, this is not very important. This is what people think that when you say, oh, Babok or business analysis, this is what people think. For me, this is not very important. It's important, but I'll show you, apart from the competencies, I'll show you the other thing that I think why everybody needs to really have business analysis skills. But for me, this is not very important. This is what I think. And there you go, everybody. In Babok and even during the training that we're going to be having this training 3 times this year, 4 Saturdays, 3 times. That's the paid version. So Bono, I hope you have the flyer. I hope you completed it. So we're going to do this in the month of March, I believe, April, May, June, March, June, and I think September. We're going to do it 3 times. Each of them is 4 Saturdays. When we do these things in Africa, it's just pure corporate social responsibility or individual social responsibility. Because the amount of money that we charge, I was telling one of my friends here in England yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. I said, if you want to do, everybody, can you check online for me? How much do they do business and accredited business analysis training? Meanwhile, if you're still weak, all those people who know a lot about Canada, how much can you check for me? How much is an accredited business analysis training in Canada and also in the UK? Can people check for me? And accredited, right? That means it's not just somebody who woke up and went under their bed and said that I do business analysis. That means it's been delivered by an accredited organization, because all the things that we do, we're accredited to do them as training nights. They're not things that we're doing just out of what's the word now? Just carelessly. We're accredited to do them. Can somebody check for me? How much is an accredited business analysis training? The exam in itself, if you want to go and do it from IB or from PMI, is like $500, $600, $700. The training in a lot of places is usually not less than $1,000. Did you hear that? Anybody? The training in a lot of places, an accredited one, where the organization delivering it is accredited to do it. So, but when we charge money is here, sometimes we charge how much in naira in Nigeria, and I know that'll be different. So how much is $1,000 in Ghana cedis? And if in naira, it is $1,000 is going to be about 1.5 million naira. So that means in Nigeria, when we do these training courses, especially the ones that we do over the weekend, we pretty much charge 10% of how much we should be charging when we're delivering it outside of the country. Because when we deliver this, I'm not going to speak more English than I'm speaking. I'm not going to do more demonstrations than I'm demonstrating. I'm not going to use a different set of slides apart from what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to do the same thing. And when we do this over the weekend, we pretty much charge less than 10% of the amount of money we should be charging. So when I was speaking to the person, we're talking about Prince 2, and the person said, how much do we charge for that? And I said, exam inclusive, Prince 2 foundation, and what's that thing? Prince 2 foundation and practitioner. Now, exam inclusive, we definitely charge less than $1,000. Well, there's nowhere in the UK where Prince 2 training and certification will be less than £1,500. So when we do these things over the weekend, we just do it for doing sick. That's why Mr. Muiwa does not have time for play us over the weekend because there's no money from it. But for me, life is definitely way more than money. Money is useful, but we also build great relationships. So we're going to be doing the 3 courses. We're going to be doing them in the month of March, April, May, and then we'll repeat it again from June, July, August. So March is going to be business analysis 4 Saturdays, I believe. I can't remember what will be April, whether it is, I can't remember anyways, but that's fine. Now, let me talk about this and let me go away from here. We'll take a quick break and then I'll take a 5-minute break just so that we can walk around, use the restroom, and then we'll come back. Let me quickly talk about this, right? This is inside. So once again, you won't even find this table inside of Babok, right? Because Babok didn't put these things together like this, but I like to put things together in such a way that it makes my life easy. And the first, so what the thing that I've done is that I consolidated the 50 techniques onto a single page so that it's easy to see and it's easy to understand. Apart from that, I put something at the very top here, right? I said, you know, knowledge is level 1, it's like primary school. Skills are like level 2, which is like secondary school. And then when the thing now becomes some kind of ability, some kind of capability, some kind of expertise, that is like level 3. And the thing that I see is that Africans think that level 1 will get us a job abroad, a bank will hire us
Check
just
your
because
screen,
of
sir.
what's wrong with it? You can't see it? My screen or the chat room? Hello?
I think what you're speaking to is we have a different thing on the screen.
I apologize. I don't know what it is. I had so many screens open on my computer, and I think that was what the problem was. So once again, I apologize. Sorry about that. Okay, good. So let me quickly round this portion of this session. Let me round it off very quickly. So once again, everybody, if you look at this, right, and I hope you can all hear me. If you look at this, right, this is according to Babok, right? So what it is that I have done here is that I've said, okay, you know what? These 50 areas, about some areas are quite technical, but some other areas, it does not matter. Your unit or your department in an organization, you should know them. So what I've done is I have left out all the technical ones, everybody, and I've captured all the ones that I consider to be non-technical. I put yellow on them. So if you look at this, the non-technical that you have here will be about what? Can somebody count for me? Is it 34 or 35? Which is it? Is it 34 or 35 that I consider, this is me as a person, right? I consider these ones to be non-technical. That means it's not just for, that means whether you're in HR, whether you're in finance, whether you're in procurement, whether you're in legal, whether you're in compliance, whatever unit or department that you're in within an organization, you should know these areas. It does not matter what unit or department you're in. Can you hear me mute to that person, please? It does not matter what unit or department you're in an organization, you should know these ones. So everything that I put in yellow, all of us should know. There is no reason, there is no excuse that why all of us should not know everything that I put in yellow. And once again, that this conversation is very important to HR people, or should be very important to HR people, should be very important to unit managers, departmental managers, departmental leads, and all that. Because all these ones that are put in yellow, I consider them to be non-technical. I've left out the things that I consider to be a bit technical. So when you and I are talking about number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15, those ones are a bit technical. But everybody should know about number one. Everybody should get some Scrum type training whereby you will know about number two. Everybody should know about number three because that's about strategy. Two is around agile. Three is around strategy. Number four is for you and I, everybody in marketing, in sales, in every unit should be able to benchmark themselves against others. Brainstorming ideas is something all of us should know. Business capability, our ability to develop a business case, how to use business model canvas, how to determine business rules for approval for different things, even the concept of collaborative games to be able to ensure that departmental or business problems are resolved. There's nobody working in an organization that should not learn the difference between number 25. There is nobody that should not know number 26, number 27, number 28. Concept of mind mapping. So these are the techniques that all employees, why should you and I have an employee that does not understand number 45 and number 46? Why? Why should we have employees in our organization that don't understand number 31 or don't understand the concept of prioritization, number 33? Should we have employees that don't understand the concept of process analysis? Why should we have people who employees in our organization that don't understand the concept of reviews? Or when you're drilling down to what went wrong, they can't nail down number 40. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. It's a massive deal. And once again, my conclusion is everybody, right? As I said, in the training class, we go through all these things appropriately. But if you've taken nothing out of this session, then you should take this too. If you take nothing out, you should take this page, right? All employees must have these competencies and sub-competencies. All employees, with the exception of none, should have these competencies and the sub-competencies, not only at the level of head knowledge, but in terms of real capabilities. That's number one. Number two is this one. The techniques that all of us should have, practical, hands-on, our ability to use Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, our ability to be able to use Jira to get these things done. Once again, remember, level one is knowledge, level two is skills, level three is when the thing has now become some kind of ability, some kind of capability, and some kind of expertise. All right? So these are things that all of us should do. Lastly, I want to get out of here. So if you come in the business analysis class, you will see, I mean, once again, let me not, I can spend the whole day talking about this, right? So Okay, good. So everybody, look at this, right? Look at this. Once again, I wrote this out. You won't find this in any textbook. But these are capabilities that everybody should have. These are not capabilities for some people. These are capabilities that everybody should have. All of us should know things like this. All of us, with the exception of none. And this is the problem, right? So people will tell me, oh, there are no jobs in the UK or in Canada or in Nigeria. And when we get there, we move from doing our IT job. Where is that noise from? When we move from doing our IT job and all of us start to do care work, because we're never really deep in these areas. We're never really deep. Like we don't have these things at the level where it then becomes some kind of ability or capability. We're at the knowledge or sometimes even at the skills level, but there's something even higher than that. Okay? There's something even higher than that. So these are the kinds of things everybody here should know. Everybody. We, the business analysts or people who have business analysis skills, we're like Raymond Reddington. We're like Raymond Reddington. Or what's the name of that Olivia? What's that lady's name? In Scandal. We solve problems. That's what we do. Olivia Pope, right? We solve problems. We're the glue, right? And this is essential. Okay, that's who we are. This is who we are. I think every husband should make sure that their wives should have excellent business analysis skills, and I think every wife should ensure that their husbands have business analysis skills. I think people need to train their younger ones, whether they're doing national service or they've left the university. I think this should even be embedded in the year 4 or year 5 curriculum of universities. I think these things, maybe we need to start from the university and embed it as a full compulsory course for everybody that is going to graduate from a university, because these are essential things. If you're going to go out there and get important, essential things done, they solve problems. That's what business analysts, that's what they do. And all of us in an organization should be problem solvers. All of us, with the exception of none, should be problem solvers. Okay. So, I mean, there's a slide I was showing the other time. So if you look at this, right, an organization will have different goals. And then you that you want to become like a specialist business analyst, or even all of us, we will know what IT solution or technology solution or platform will help the organization to address its business goals and objectives. What technology solution or platform will help the organization to achieve its objectives. Okay, very important. Kingsley, are you here by any chance? These guys, I hope Kingsley and Aben, some of those guys, I hope you're here. Kingsley, Aben, Bright, Vincent. I hope some of you're here.
Only
I
ones,
mean,
right?
no, 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 no. Sorry, I'm talking about the ones who work for me. Sorry, right. So So everybody, I mean, I was working with some HR people recently, and I said, you know what, as an HR person, you can't be a business analyst, right? Because you don't even understand some of the processes that are in a department. You have not even done problem identification.
Amounts.
Can you hear me mute that person, right? You haven't even done um process identification. How can you solve the problem? So I was saying that I was even speaking to some risk managers recently, and I was saying to them, and you as a risk manager or a risk analyst in an organization, and this was a bank, and I was saying that how are you going to identify risks appropriately if you don't even understand the processes that are involved? You can't analyze or identify risks tied to something you don't know. And once again, what goes wrong with those people? The key thing that goes wrong with risk analysts or financial analysts is that it's an understanding of the processes. So how are you going to help the financial management or the accounting department, whatever it is that you call them, if you don't even have a strong understanding of financial management processes in an organization and activities? You can't help. You will not be able to add any value to the organization. Once again, business analysis is the foundation for everything, right? It's the foundation for everything. And hopefully, this is an old certificate. I'm sure we have the one that goes into 2026. So this is probably like year 11 or year 12 that we'll be maintaining this certificate every year as an accredited education provider. I remember that I was doing this during COVID year, right? So I was doing this during COVID year. So this is what the itinerary is going to look like, and then of course during the week, the trainers also give exercises for people who really want to go deep. If you really want to go deep, this is what our 4 Saturday programs looks like, generally speaking. All right, generally speaking. But there's a lot of practical work. There's a lot of practical work. One of the things we struggle with is just being able to. So, for example, maybe I think we're going to stop using pencil and we're going to use Figma. So there's so many things that we've tried to pass across even during the training, but it is impossible to do that in a short period. So, but if you really want to go deep, you want to go beyond just the knowledge of business analysis, you want to go all the way to the skills and to the capabilities, you're going to have to really understand these things. So we had to redefine what business analysis training looks like, so that it's not just theoretical, it's very practical. So in the month of March, bring your brother, bring your sister, bring your cousin, even bring your enemies, right? For this, I think we're starting in the month of March, I believe, right? 4 Saturdays in March, we're going to be doing this. Right. So once again, that's business analysis. So everybody from business analysis, what's your big takeaway? Quickly, tell me before I move on to something else. What's your big takeaway as a person? Business analysis. I want to hear from everybody. That's the feedback that I need. I want everybody to tell me what exactly is your big takeaway from this particular session that we have just had. Okay, good. And everybody, I want everybody in the chat room, I want everybody to tell me what is your big takeaway from this business analysis session, right? I still have 2 critical things I want to do, and I'm going to try to do them very quickly so that we can finish early as it is. All right. I still have two very important things that I need to do today so that we can finish early. Let me see. I want to download something. It is a one page. It's a one pager. I'm looking for my Scrum one page. I'm looking for my Scrum one pager. I have this Scrum one pager that I would like to use. So everybody, yes, give me your feedback. Give me some feedback. What is your big takeaway? What is your big takeaway from this session, right? So, all right, anybody, any other person, quickly, what is your big takeaway from this session? What is your big takeaway from this session? What is the key thing that you're taking out of this session, everybody? So, and what are the next steps for you as a person and even for your team in your organization? What are the next steps for you as a person and even for the team in your own organization? What are the next steps? Tell me, what are the next steps for you as a person and even for the team in your organization? What are you going to try to do on Monday or throughout next week, right? What are you going to be looking to do? What is the thing you're going to be doing next week? You are for yourself and even for your team. What exactly are you going to be doing? Okay. What are you going to be doing for yourself? What are you going to be doing for your team next week? As you move on, what are the practical things, the next steps? There's a lot that I have said today already. All right. There's a lot that I've said today already. So I'm asking, all right, what should all of us go back to our organizations to do? What should all of us go back to organizations to do? What should we be looking to do going forward? Okay. All right. So let's talk about Scrum very quickly. Let's talk about Scrum. All right. So the thing that I'm going to okay, so let me read some of the things that people have said here. What should we be looking to do? Immediately we go back. Bedrock, thank you. Right. The way the way the shift, Alberto. Awesome man. Yes. Right. Thank you. Thank you. What did Timmy say? Uh so much emphasis on job titles that we forget the actual skills. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a big challenge, right? Enroll everyone. Should know the concept of BA. Yes, next week I'll share with my team. Right, next week. Yeah, it's very important. Like it's critical. You as a person, your team. If and once again, they've got to go beyond just trying to cram things. This is beyond just cramming things, passing an exam. Those things are good. You should pass your exam. I mean, why shouldn't you pass an exam? You should pass. But I'm just saying that the things we're talking about is way beyond just trying to pass an exam. Right? Passing an exam is good, but it's way beyond trying to pass an exam. Okay, good. So I'm going to share something with everybody, and everybody should go to do this. And when you're registering, please write training heights there. Right. So let me share this link, and I think this is important. Everybody should do this. Okay. Where is it now? And I think this is useful for you, useful for your team. Everybody should go to do this course and also download the Scrum Body of Knowledge. Everybody should go to do this. Everybody. So I'm going to share this now. So everybody, you should do two things. You should register for the free Scrum Fundamentals training. You should. You should register for it. And you should also download the Scrum Body of Knowledge. This is the new Scrum Body of Knowledge. It's more than the older version, or it's better than the older version. This one came out towards the end of last year. Okay. So everybody, you should go register for the free Scrum Fundamentals. And there's another one that I think everybody should also register for. It is the Scrum with AI certified and it's free. Okay. Everybody should also do that. Scrum with AI certified and it's also free. So you should all go to do that. Everybody should have that. But once again, if you know how to use, if you pass and you have a certificate, that's good. But I never hire people based on certificates. I'm going to have to hire you based on what it is that I'm certain that you know. Because certificate is not going to help me. It's not like our accreditation as an organization is tied to you. So I don't hire people based on their certificates. I'm only going to hire somebody based on the skills that they have. I'm only going to hire somebody based on the skill sets that I am certain that they have. It can't be tied. So everybody, 3 things: register for those 2 training classes and download the S-Book guide, the Scrum Body of Knowledge. It's a big 400-page document, right? It's a big 400-page, 400+ page document. It's a massive document, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's stuff that you all should know and you should use. It's good stuff. You can't take that away from it. So if you've been able to, I want everybody to do the registration now, because when people say that I'll do it later, then they will never remember to do it. So I want everybody to register for both, right? I want everybody to register for both. And if you have also downloaded, if you've also downloaded the, if you've also downloaded the S-Book, the Scrum Body of Knowledge, come into the chat room and tell me I've been able to do that. If you've downloaded Scrum Body of Knowledge, come into the chat room and tell me I registered for both and I've downloaded the S-Book, Scrum Body of Knowledge. It's brand new. This is version 5. We've been partners with these organizations for more than a decade. So we've been partners with them. We've been partners with them for more than a decade. So, okay. It's not the only Scrum Body of Knowledge that exists, but it's a good one if you know what to do with it and if you know how to approach it. It's not the only one that exists, but it's a decent one. And even I had to attend a train the trainer class recently. They made it compulsory for the existing accredited organizations and even trainers. And I had to compulsorily even attend that particular session. It was a great session. Right. So in the Scrum Body of Knowledge, everybody, since you've downloaded it, in that Scrum study, S-Book version 5, in that Scrum Body of Knowledge, version 5, okay, make sure it's version 5 because there's a version 4. It's the 5th edition that I'm focused on here. It's the 5th edition of it. It can get very complex it can get very complex, but I like to stick with the easy side of it. Okay. Now, this is my question to everybody. You know, there are many approaches to Agile, right? There are many approaches to Agile, but my favorite is Scrum. So Scrum is just many approaches to Agile, but my favorite is Scrum. So that's why I always tell people that for me, I like to say Agile with Scrum, because Scrum is not the only it's not the only approach by which you can do Agile. But that's why I say I like to focus on Agile, but specifically using Scrum. Okay. And people think that say that Agile is like a buzzword, like something nice to say, something, everybody will be shouting Agile, Agile, Agile. And once again, I'm telling somebody that, there is how do I like to say? There is the essence of something, right? The essence of anything versus the I like to say that it's like the letter of the word versus the spirit behind it, right? Like the letter of the word versus the spirit that is behind it. Another person called it the core of something, and then the context in which that thing also does exist, right? So the essence versus, it could be agile, it could be enterprise architecture, it could be EA, it can be whatever that thing is. Right? The essence of that thing versus the form that it takes. Okay, I'll put this up in 1 second. It could be enterprise architecture, it can be an ISO standard, it can be agile, it can be anything at all, right? It can be COBIT, it can be anything. There's a conversation around what is the essence of that particular thing versus the form it takes. The essence of something versus the form in which that thing. And so, and I want to hear from people here, right? So, what is the essence of, let me put this here. Can anybody see what I put in the chat room? Anybody? Can you see? Okay. Can anybody see what I put in the chat room? So I'm going to ask everybody, what is the essence or the why or the purpose of Agile with Scrum versus the form that it takes? Because the form, people, it's like all of us, we focus on the form. We like to use words like sprint. We like to use words like stand-up meetings. We like to use things like releases. We like to use words like retrospects. We like, all those things around the form. Just like when people are doing ISO standards, right? When people are doing ISO standards, they get hung up on scope and context and risk and all that. And all that is good. We're not discounting it. We're not throwing it away. But the adoption of a management system, the adoption of a methodology, the adoption of an approach definitely goes beyond just the conversation around the form that it takes. And that's a problem with Agile. People are hung up on some of the conversations around Agile. So they will say, oh, Agile this and Agile that and certificates and those kinds of things. And all those things are good, right? But if anybody is really going to take you seriously, then the people are going to look at you and say, what is the bottom line? Why are we even doing this as an organization? What is the value of this thing? Are we able to demonstrate that we've made more money as an organization? Are we able to say that categorically? Because executives of an organization, the board, their concern is not just about words. It's not just about, um, agile. The concern of executives is, how's this going to help me make money? This particular thing that you're talking about, Orlando, how's this going to help me? Our organization is trying to do XYZ. These things that you're saying, how's this going to help us? What is the value that we're going to get out of this? Because people are going to get tired of buzzwords. Are we all together? They're going to get tired of you just coming into their office and screaming transformation, transformation, transformation. The people are going to want to understand transformation from the perspective of Naira and Kobo, as it is, or Ghana cedis or cents. They're going to want to understand, what do these things mean? So I think, right, and I know specifically that all of us, we should be focused on what is the value that the organization is going to get. In all our conversation, it should always be tied to the benefits and to the value. If you check in the SBOC, since you said you've downloaded it, right? Looking for one page for you, right? Give me 1 second. Okay, good. If you go into the SBOC, right? It says there is on page, what's that page now? Page 4. How many benefits does it say that Scrum or Agile with Scrum should be able to give to you? Can anybody check for me? Let me be certain that you're following me. On page 4, it says that there are X benefits that you will get if you do Agile with Scrum. Now, an executive, the CEO of an organization, is not just going to be listening to the promises that you're making. That's not all that he's going to be doing. He's really going to be checking that how Dr. Orlando, you've said that we can get these benefits, but how? What is the method or the approach by which we're going to get these benefits? Thank you very much. 16 of them. It's easy to make promises. It's easy for you and I to work into an organization and tell them, no, these are all the benefits you're going to get if you do Agile using Scrum. They're going to clap for you, hey. But at the end of the day, they're going to ask you that, how on earth are we going to realize these benefits? And when? In fact, most of the executives are going to ask you the thing that I'm always telling people of 5 Ws and H squared. That thing I'm always saying all the time, that I talk about 5 Ws and H squared. The executives are going to ask you, Doctor, you're saying to us that we can get these benefits if we do this, but can you answer 5 Ws and H squared relative to what it is that you're saying? And if you're here, you don't know 5 Ws and H squared, what should I do to you? Should I get a cane to beat you? What should I do? Because you should know 5 Ws and H squared. I'm always talking about it. I will put up something for you around 5 Ws and H squared now. All right. I'll put something like that for you, because the people are not just going to accept that they can get those benefits. They want to be certain. So I'll put something in the chat room, everybody. Wow, the thing, everybody talks about 5 Ws and 1 H, but I have expanded it. I've increased it. I've moved it further. So if you're going, the thing you have to do is to move all these benefits. Everybody, are we all together? Can you see the chat room? Right? Is to move. No, that's not my own second H. No, Olaoluwa, no. I put the thing in this guy. Mine is how is it measured? How are you going to measure it? So the idea is you put the 16 Scrum benefits inside of column 1. Are we all together? I hope you're following. I hope you're not lost. You put the 16 benefits inside of column 1 in my table. Can everybody see the table that I put in the chat room? You put in the 16 benefits, all right, into column 1. Okay, so it's almost that the 16 benefits that the S book is promising, right? You put them all under column 1 like this, and then you compulsorily answer all these 7 questions relative to each one. Does that make sense? Now, this is what you need to do. The benefits. Some people have gotten benefits out of it. A lot have not gotten any benefits out of it. Let's not lie to each other. Some people have gotten a lot of benefit. That goes without saying. But a lot of organizations have also not gotten any benefit. There is a bank that I know, they spent a lot of money. They brought a lot of people from the UK. The people held workshops. They had meetings. They did PowerPoint presentations. They did all sorts of things. This client spent thousands on hundreds of thousands on their agile transformation. At the end of the period, 2-3 year period, they got little or nothing out of it. In fact, everybody, you can go online and ask, just ask ChatGPT or Google, all right, Google AI or whatever, and just say, why do most agile transformation initiatives, why do they fail? Can somebody do that for me? Can everybody do that? Why do most agile transformation initiatives, why do they fail? Whether you're using Scrum or you're using DSMM, whatever approach you're using, right? Why do these initiatives still fail? Because everybody knows the 16 benefits that are there, but does everybody get those benefits? We all know them. It's not new, it's not special, it's not out of this world. We all know those 16 benefits. The problem is, do we get those benefits? When we have decided to do Agile in our organization, and all the organizations that have decided to do Agile, have they gotten these benefits from it? And that's a big deal. That's a big deal, right? It's a promise. The promise of these 16 things. I remember that one of the flyers for this session is from it's from promise to measurable, tangible, and validated progress, right? Measurable, tangible, validated progress. Because all of us are from different organizations, and how we're going to get value. The 16 benefits there can be gotten. They're not lying. They're not making it up. They're not, hypothesizing. It's for real. The challenge is, how do we do it? Because you and I know that we can get $1 million from agile transformation is not equal to us really getting the $1 million from it. The last thing I'm going to do today is this thing called PM is the thing called PM buck, right? So can anybody hear me now? Can you please confirm? Okay, it's the thing called PM buck. Okay, so it's the team called PM buck. Right, but before I do that, I said I was going to do a poll, right? So in this, all right, so once again, okay, I'll do it after. So let me quickly do this because this is what I'm going to open. All right, so first, let me first ask, right? A lot of people are PMP certified, and of course, all right, that's very important. But a lot of people don't have expertise with the methodology called PMBOK. Hello, everybody. Can you hear the difference? All right. Expertise, listen to me, with the use and adoption of or project management excellence. Now, which is more important to an organization? I know to you and I, right? Because we need to get a job. HR is going to do their selection. HR is going to do their HR is going to do their selection based on an algorithm, right? So they're going to filter, and when you have PMP, your CV will come up, right? And I agree with you, okay, that's important. But I think expertise, all right, with the use and adoption of PMBOK, for project management excellence. Are we all together? The position of PMBOK for project management excellence is even more important. Share your thoughts with me quickly. We're going to round this up in 20 minutes or something like that. I'm not going to take too much of your time any longer. We'll soon round this particular session up for the day. So share your thoughts with me, everybody. Which is more important, the qualifications or the expertise? And I know both of them are important. I know both are important. But if you had to pick one, what will it be? Right? What will he be? Anybody? Let me hear from you. Right? What will it be if you had to pick just one? As I said, I know both of them are important. Right? I know it's good to acquire the qualifications, but think about it properly. What is more important? Because so if you were an employer, will you be more interested in if you were an employer, will you be more interested in skills or qualifications? Both is better. But if you had to pick one as an employer, somebody who wants to hire a project manager in your organization, and you're the one driving and leading the hiring initiative. And I think this is a problem. All of us here, we all know one project manager who is PMP certified, but who the skills to even do PMP, the person does not even really have. All of us know somebody like that. We all know somebody who is PMP certified, but who is not a great project manager. I know project managers that fight everybody on their team. I know project managers like that. Like they will quarrel, they will quarrel with everybody that is on the project. They are very poor project managers, but they are PMP certified. And I think PMP is good. As of today, I'm sure somebody will spend about $600-700, am I right, to get certified. And I think everybody should get certified. I think so. But I'm saying to you that beyond certification, everybody, it's the skills and the capabilities. Certification is good. In fact, certification is excellent. But beyond certification is the expertise, right? When it comes to the use and adoption, right? Certification is good. I'll even say it is great, right? And I think so. Certification is good, right? Is good. I would even say it is great. However, um, skills and expertise with the appropriate, let me put it that way, I'm gonna write it this way, appropriate use and adoption of a methodology like PMBOK. And this version, it's a new version came out last year. PMBOK has been around for almost 30 years. A new version came out last year. I think it was in December. or November or December, right? Is excellent, greatest of all. So in all your learning, yeah, right? And I can validate that. I'm an employer of labor. I've been an employer of labor for a very long time. If people walk into my office, I'm not really worried about their qualifications. I've had so many people that had great qualifications, but I mean, their job was horrible. So I'm never really moved by qualifications, despite the fact that Training Nights as an organization, that's what we do. We sell, push qualifications, but qualifications is not all that matters. Sometimes when I'm talking to people, in fact, how many of you have heard it when you say, do you have project management skills? What is the typical Nigerian response or Ghanaian response? Right? Skills or capabilities. I can tell you what, let me see whether anybody will get it. What if you ask somebody, the average person, what will you say? What will they say? The people who live in Nigeria and Ghana primarily, if you ask them, do you have or how good is your project management skills and capabilities? Oh, not a lot of people are even certified. The thing that people say, I want somebody to tell me what the typical person will say. Let me see if anybody will get it. Not the average person will tell you that I'm certified. Some, yeah, but not the average. But there's something that the average person always says. No, 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 I didn't we. No, the average person says, look at it in the chat room. This is like classic response. Classic response. Ask the person, yeah, that's it. That's what they always say. I attended a training. That's the typical thing they say. I attended a training. But attending a training is not the same thing as having the skills. I've seen somebody who's PMP certified. The person could not write a business case. The person could not write a business case. The person could not complete a project risk document. The person could not do a benefits realization document. So, once again, these things are important and they're essential. You cannot go around in modern days. Of course, when you now travel or when you now look for a job, you now say, there are no jobs. Because it breaks my heart every time I see professionals outside of the country, in Canada, in the UK, and those places, they're my second home. And then the people have moved from doing any kind of professional work to something else. It's because they never really were deep or steep when it comes to those things. So when you ask people that, oh, you know what, do you know how to build a project management dashboard? They don't know how to build a project management dashboard. They don't even know sometimes what is a project management dashboard. So they don't know how to get it within a system. They can't use Excel to do it. People do very poor project reporting. And these are people that have attended training. Some are even certified. Right? So it's possible that it's from the training organization. So when you ask people that, how are you going to build the project management dashboard? What is the tool that is your tool of preference for building a project management dashboard? Right? Most people don't know what that is. And they're certified. And they're trained. And because at the end of the day, you're going to need to sit in front of a set of executives from time to time, and you're going to have to show them some project management dashboards that you've built to talk about the status of the project. I can talk about these all day. Honestly, I can. Because we do projects every day, one project or the other. We're always doing projects as an organization. We cannot but do projects. So we can have people who are still struggling with the fundamentals of project, how to create a project management document, or how to use Jira, or how to use ClickUp, or how to use Trello, or one of those things. So I want to hire somebody simply because the person has come into my office and the person has said to me that, oh, they passed an exam. I'm not impressed with exam passing. Passing an exam is great, and I'm going to need more than that. The clients that pay us, do they pay us because our team have passed exams, except some of the exams that are tied to maybe our accreditation? So we're doing something right now on what's the name of that thing? On AWS. So yes, some of the team members have to pass one thing or the other relative to it. So yeah, maybe. But it's, for me, it's definitely more than that. It's definitely more than that. Do you even have the templates that you require to be able to get a project done? So if I tell you now, pull up a business case template that you're going to use to get something done, do you know what to do? Right? There is this methodology I used to use a while ago. Let me see if I can find a screen for it, a screenshot for it. All right. And that was in the days where we used to use Microsoft Word and Excel to do all our project management work. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I think I should be able to find it. Yeah, I think so. Right, good. So we used to use these templates to do the work. So when we're working on a project, we produce all these documents. People don't usually do that any longer because you can just put everything on your Jira. So there's no point using this 1 million templates. But in those days, this is what we used to do. So as a project manager, working for different organizations, the conversation, so if you check in the chat room, the conversation was more around your ability to be able to use these templates and to complete them appropriately. That was the thing. So I had all, so I mean, I literally was like a big expert when it comes to, there's not one of these templates that I have not used on one project or the other. It's the same thing for Prince 2. Prince 2 has templates, right? In the older version of Prince 2, they were let me see, 36. Let me see, where is that? All right, but in the new version, they've reduced it. Where can I find my Prince 2 presentation? Give me a second. Yes, where can I find my Prince 2? This is why my computer always goes mad, because aha. Good. In the new version of Prince 2, right? In the new version of Prince 2, the templates have been reduced. So I'm sure I'll find, in the new version of Prince 2, the templates have been reduced. Aha. So let me do this. So in the new version of Prince 2, they reduced it to just 15 templates that must be compulsorily completed. All right. In the new version of Prince 2, there are 15 templates that must be compulsorily completed. Now, who am I going to hire? Am I going to hire a guy who has expertise in the appropriate completion of these 15 recommended templates from the new latest version of Prince 2, which is Prince 2 version 7? Or I'm going to hire a guy that is Prince 2 practitioner certified. Of course, the best is to have a guy that has both. But if both is not an option, which one will you pick? Which one will you pick if both is not an option? Are you going to hire the guy who has a qualification? You have a project, the project is going wrong or might go wrong. Something might significantly go wrong with the project. Are you going to be fixated on hiring the guy that has the, and I'm sure, I'm sure I've done many Prince 2 things, but where is the last one Prince 2 webinar? I think we recorded it, we put it on YouTube. I don't know, I think so. I'm looking for the old, I have a page that has the old management product. I have found it. Brilliant. So this is the older version of Prince 2. I found it. Give me 1 second. Yes. This is the older version of Prince 2 that had 26. I'm sure if you put my name, because I also did this for PECB at some point in time. Right? When I was doing some work for them, I can't even remember. Right? That must be a very long time ago. Now, if you look at this is the older version of Prince 2 that had 26 compulsory templates for a project manager to complete. The older version of Prince 2 had 26 compulsory templates to complete. The newer version has reduced it because of Agile and many of these things to 15 compulsory templates for you to complete on the project. Now, most people who are Prince 2 certified, they don't know these things. They struggle. And if you actually give them the template, they don't even know what to do with the template. They don't know how to complete it. They're struggling to write. They're struggling to analyze. So once again, what would you rather have? A certified, and that's why sometimes I'm like, certification is brilliant. We sell certification for a living, but skills and capabilities are even way more important as it is. So in our training, we're going to be doing the PMP training in the month of April. I believe so. I believe it's going to be sometime in the month of April, if I'm right. That's what we're going to look at. We're definitely going to look at some of these things in there. Okay? The compulsory templates according to PMBOK. Okay? That you need to have and that you must use according to PMBOK. How do you build a project dashboard? Templates for building a project dashboard. So the focus, you will pass. We will give you the things that you're required to pass, especially once you have $700, but $700 thereabout to pay for your exam. How much is $700 in Ghana cedis? Anybody? And how much is $700 in Naira? Because you're going to spend $700 to pay for your exam. How much is that in Naira? At least that's probably $1 million. Am I right? And is it 700 because you pay for the exam, and then you pay for your Nigerian local chapter dues. All right, so registration and chapter dues is already almost 300, and then you pay for so how much is the bundle for me? Does anybody know the exact amount of money? But I think that even apart from the money, all right, so yeah, you once you have about 8,000 Ghana cedis, you'll be okay, right? But I think yeah, so about almost 8,000 Ghana cedis, Isaac, thank you. And in Nigeria, you will spend about 1 million naira. Am I right? At least 1 million bucks, which is great. But I don't think that should be the only thing people should think about or should be fixated on or should worry about. I think first and foremost is for you to really have the right skills. That's the first thing. And we're an accredited PMI organization. We just completed our PMI organization. That means the certificates that you receive from us in all our training courses, they are accredited training certificates. They're not training certificates that, I just pull up from under my bed and all that. So we're going to do that. And let me try sharing my screen one more time. Hopefully my teams will not give up on me. Good. So this worked on our accreditation. So the new PMBOK that came out in November, December last year. It's less than 3 months old. It's the version 8, everybody. It's the version 8 of PMBOK. So it's a very intensive training because during the week you have exercises that you need to do. The exercises that you need to do during the week. So it's not something you only attend Saturday and forget about it. It's very intensive for weeks. So it's almost like Saturdays are like review dates. So you can see that the thing exists as two different documents. So now they have a standard for project management, and they also have a guide to the project management body of knowledge. Two different things, two different documentations inside of the document. So if you come here, what I have done is to summarize the standard. This is the standard for project management from PMI. The project environment, functions associated with projects, the roles, everybody. The roles, everybody, if you look at 2.5, and then it talks about the principles. Okay? It talks about the principles. And there are 8 principles that they say that there are 4 recognized roles and 8 principles. Principle number 1, project management mindset. Principle number 2, performance domains. They say you should adopt a holistic view. And then it talks about focus on value, embed quality into processes and deliverables, be an accountable leader, integrated sustainability within all project areas, build an empowered culture. Big stuff, good stuff too. And then, of course, the phases for project management and the consideration for picking an approach. They even have something called the delivery cadence, and then focus areas. Everybody, if you look at the bottom, now it's called the focus areas: initiating, planning, execution, monitoring and control, closing. Yeah. So this is, yes.
The screen is not showing.
Okay, so go to the chat room. I already shared it in the chat room. Everybody, okay. Go and check. Does everybody have it in the chat room? Please confirm. I already shared it in the chat room anyways. Can you please confirm you have it in the chat room? Bodun, can you do it again in the chat room? Since yes, nobody can see my screen. Right. Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. So that's the page for the standard. The second page is now a guide to project management. That's the one that now talks about all the things we used to call the project management knowledge areas. But now they're no longer called knowledge areas. They're called the performance domains. Everybody, can you see the other screen that I put in the chat room? So there are loads of changes, new naming conventions and all that. But at the end of the day, the key thing is to really understand it. So right now you can see that you have 7 areas: governance, scope, schedule, finance, stakeholders, resources, and risk. You now have 7 performance domains. Okay? And they now have a section that they borrowed from Prince 2 that talks about tailoring. A section that they borrowed from Prince 2 that is titled, How Do You Tailor the PMBOK to the type of project that you have? Is extremely extensive. And then they now have the appendix. In the appendix, they talk about the PMO, In the appendix, they talk about artificial intelligence, and they've taken procurement out of the knowledge areas now called performance domains, and they put it in the appendix. Everybody, can you see the other screenshot that I put in the chat room? Yeah. So they said that procurement, it's not in all projects that you do procurement. So they've taken it out, right? And they put it in the appendix. Not like they threw it away, they just put it in the appendix. Okay. So they've changed. Before you used to have planning, integration as a knowledge area, right? So that has been kind of renamed into what we call governance. Cost. Now it's called finance now. Okay. It's almost like communication has been embedded inside of stakeholder management. And many things have changed about this version 8. But it's useful. It's great. You should know it. You should learn about it a lot. You should know it. You should learn about it a lot. It's great to know these things as it is. It's really important to know them. And how do you do this? How can you help your organization? If you look at the slide that I shared earlier today, I said in an organization, I think every capital expenditure item or capex item, whatever name we decide that we want to call it. Once again, I apologize. It's the devil, right? So, everybody. So in the month of March, now we're trying to make a decision for the month of April. We have a large number of people who want us to do cybersecurity or Agile. So let's take a poll in this class, right? Which one should we do? These are 90% discounted fees, trade costs, because it's just about 120 in Nigeria and about I don't even know the Ghanaian equivalent any longer in Ghana cedis. So in the month of May, which one should we do? Cybersecurity or Agile with Scrum? We have a lot of people who want to do cybersecurity or Agile with Scrum. So everybody, let's take a quick vote. What? So March is settled. April is also settled. But for the month of May, which one should we be looking to do? We have a lot of people that are making a demand on us for cybersecurity, right? Because in our cybersecurity, we do ISO 27001, but we also do NIST. So the answer to the poll, Bodun BC, is what is going to determine what we're going to eventually do. Okay, good. So everybody keep it coming. Keep it coming. Everybody keep it coming. What should we do in the month of May? 4 Saturdays, cybersecurity, or which one will you pay for? Cybersecurity or Agile? Let's see. Go ahead. Which one will you enroll your brother, your sister, your cousin, your enemies, whatever, your younger ones, your children? Which one will you take for them in the month of May? Quickly, can I hear from others? Let's bring this to a beautiful close. Can I hear from others? Cybersecurity is winning. Cybersecurity is winning. Let's see. Cybersecurity is still winning. Let's see. Where are all the Agile people? I have 3 Agile now. But I hope you're counting. BC Victoria. All right.
Yes,
so,
sir.
right. Anyways. All right. So I think we'll probably end up doing cybersecurity. But what we will try to do is to embed a bit of Agile into our business analysis class. And I think we've already even have shared the SBOC guide with you. All right. So it's good and all that. So if you log on to that portal and you take those 2 classes, I think it will give you the background and the foundation that you need from an Agile perspective. I think so. Okay. Good. Lastly, I was going to show you something. So IB standard. Because so everybody, go and register here and download this particular document, everybody. Go and register here. Download this document, everybody. Quickly. Quickly, everybody. It's a brilliant document. It's a brilliant document. It's so the same way PMBOK has got his own standard. So two different things, everybody. Two different things. One is the standard. The other one is the body of knowledge. Okay, so that's what both of them have done. There is the standard, and then there is the body of knowledge. So, for example, let me see if I can lay my hands on my babak. Why is he showing me this old one? Okay. So, everybody try to download it. It's great stuff. I think it's the second version. So there are two different things, right? There is Babok and then there is the standard. Babok is not free, but the standard, they've made it free. They've made the standard free, but Babok in itself is not a free document. So, but they've made the standard free. So you should get the document. So Babok is not free. You must be a paying member of IBA. Is this nothing not showing me a clear version? Anybody? And the document is great. The document is really good. So what they've done, and I think it actually contains much, it's clean, it's clear, it's precise. Do you understand? Because Babok in itself is 500 pages, right? So they've now created what we can call a streamlined version of Babok. Are we all together? Called the Business Analysis Standard. It's like a streamlined version of Babok. So like a streamlined version of Babok. Easy to read, easy to understand, also very colorful. Very colorful. So in our actual training, we focus on Babok because that's the actual body of knowledge. But we also will create some time to do a high-level review of the standard. The standard is like the simpler version of Babok. Simpler. When I hold these workshops for organizations, I do this in a day with them. Like one full day, I deal with them. So it's great stuff. Really good stuff. So all of you should know that. So you can see in the chat room, right? The business analysis standard from IIBA versus the Babok. Remember, it's like the same thing for like project management. Project management, a PMBOK exists, and then the project management standard also exists. That's how IIBA has also done theirs. They've done it exactly the same way. So I hope you've downloaded it, and it's brilliant. Good. So you will get, hopefully we have your right email address. button. Hopefully, we have your right email address. You will get 2 things from us. Please follow us on all our socials. Bodrum Victoria, where are all our socials? You get 2 things from us. You will get a link for the, let me just call it an assessment for attending today, and you will be able to download your certificate for attending. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Your certificate for attending. And then, of course, please join us. Um, and then please join us on the paid sessions. Okay, join us on the paid sessions. As we said, May, April, what am I saying? March, April, May. March, April, May. March plus April plus May. You will see the flyers out there in no time. Right. So give right. Yeah, the recording will be made. The recording is actually going on YouTube, so we just share the link. All right, so everybody, please give me what's your takeaway from today, overall takeaway. What's your testimonial so that we can quote you in terms of your testimonial. So what's your testimonial? Please go ahead. What's your testimonial for today? Tell me, and I want to hear from everybody. Please, I want to hear from everybody. What's your testimonial for today? What's the big deal for you? What is the key thing that you've been able to learn today? Everybody, quickly, quickly, quickly. All right. So yes, you'll get the recording. You'll get an email from us. Just make sure we have your email address and follow us on our socials. But at least I need 20 people to give me their testimonials tied to today. Everybody, all right? At least 20 people. Right? Good. Thank you very much. Tell me, what is your big takeaway? Overall, we've done many things. I mean, I've been speaking literally for 3 hours, except when my Microsoft Teams kept on acting out on me. All right. I've been speaking for 3 straight hours. Cities. So please tell me, what's your big takeaway? All right. What's your big takeaway? Thank you very much, Dimitri. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. At least I must get the specific takeaways from at least 20 people. What's your big takeaway as you go back to work on Monday, as you kick off your work? What is the key thing that you've learned and then you're picking up from here? All right, tell me. What's the key thing you've learned and then you're picking up from here? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Everybody, please, quickly. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you very much. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you very much, Tammy. Thank you for that. Okay. We've done a lot today. Absolutely. We have covered quite a number of things within this 3-hour period. Okay. Thank you very much, Isaiah, Dominic. Okay. Okay. Can I hear from a few others very quickly? Tammy, Isaiah, thank you. Victor, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Can I hear from others as we bring today to a beautiful close? As we bring today, this session, to a beautiful close. I know, and that's why we've looked at it. What is it that is available in the international market? What are people hiring for? What should you know? Training Nights is, we're a functional company in Canada, in the UK, in Nigeria, in Ghana. So a functional company in those locations. So I know exactly what is important and what is not important in each of those markets. So usually when I say these things, I say them from that perspective because we work in all those We work in all those jurisdictions. So I'm here in England doing some work, and I understand what exactly the market uh, what the market typically will ask for. I know exactly what the market is asking for in each of these locations. So when we take these training classes, um, we take all that into keen consideration. How do we build skills and capabilities that are needed in the marketplace? We work for banks, in and insurance, and many other type organizations in different places. So once again, we're very clear with regards to what organizations are looking for, and I can tell you that it is skills. It's skills. It's skills. Right? So qualifications are good. So, for example, I don't think anybody should say, I'm not getting better because I don't have $700 or $800. Get the skills first. The exam is not all in all. Get the skills, my brother, my sister. Get the skills. Get the skills. You can always take the exam at any time, but one thing you cannot do without is the skills. So please just focus on getting the skills. Focus, like be completely focused on getting the skills. Once you get the skills, um, every other thing is going to pan out, right? Every other thing will pan out. But without the skills, um, you're not going to use exam to replace skills, especially if you're thinking about an international market. If you're thinking is only about Nigeria, then well, maybe. But if you're thinking is tied to an international market, you're going to need more than just a exam. I promise you that. You're going to need more than an exam. Right? It's good that you get called for the interview, and that's the thing about us. What we do, they are accredited training classes. So we are accredited. We pay a lot of money to get these accreditation done, or to keep it every year, just so that the certificates that we give, they're not certificates for Mr. Jack and Mr. Harry. They're the certificates that can be validated anywhere, that where you took your training from, the organization is actually accredited. I can just come up with Orlando and Victoria Incorporated that delivers training, but what we do is beyond just Orlando and Victoria Incorporated. Okay, good. Right. So once again, so please share the YouTube links. Yeah, so we've got a lot on the YouTube. You can follow me on you can just look for me on LinkedIn. Yeah, you can look for me on LinkedIn. You can look for Training Nights on LinkedIn. You will see the many things that we do. So once again, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. It's going to be a great 2000, and we'll send the assessment links to your email. So if you registered for this call or for this, I'm sure we have your email and we're going to send it to you. So I'm certain that the year 2026 is going to be an excellent year for all of us. I'm certain. And in all you're getting, ensure that you get the right skills and capabilities for work. Qualifications are good. The best bet is to make sure that you have both the skills and the qualifications. But if you have to pick one of those two things, pick the skills. But ultimately, you should have both. You should be qualified, you should be certified, but please, simultaneously, you should also be you should also be skilled, right? Not just knowledge, but skills in themselves. Good. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. Let me switch on your cameras. Let me take a quick picture here. my computer, and then I can allow everybody go. So please do me the favor. I want to see the faces of some of the great people that I've had the good pleasure of spending today with. I want to see the faces of some of the people that I've had the good pleasure of spending today with as it is. Okay. All right. So please switch your camera, and then we'll take a quick picture, and then I will allow all of us be on our merry way. I will also try and I put a lot of screenshots today. I can't even remember them. Temilade, you see, I wouldn't have known that you are this beautiful. Look at you. Look like a model. And then see Covenant. Covenant, how you doing? I, Mr. Isaiah, Mr. Isaiah Dominic, Mr. Isaiah, are you hiring? Can I bring my CV to you, please? Are you hiring? Can I send my CV? All right, to you, Mustafa. Thank you. It's great for you to be here. Mr. Victor Ajayi, it's great for you to be here. Can I take some orders and we'll quickly do this and then we can go? We'll send you the assessment will be easy. I'll make sure that it's easy. It will just be some quick questions on business analysis. So everybody, the assessment, make sure you look at the business analysis standard in itself, the standard for business analysis. For the one for Agile, if you've gone through the online session, there's the online bits the way you can generate it. That will be very important. And then on the project management. So yeah, so there'll be simple things. They won't be that difficult for anybody to do. Who else is here so that I can do this? Please oblige me. Anybody? I cannot see Mr. Victor Ajayi, Olamide, Oladeji, Father Iro, Alberto, Coin, Favor, um, very Russo, quickly so that we can all go on our merry way and have the remaining part of our Saturday to ourselves. But I think you and your team, the things that we have said today, I think they're extremely useful, and I think people should take them into keen consideration. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. You will hear from us. And once again, I wish you all a fantastic 2026. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. This is the first this year, 2026. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. All right, then.